Something feels wrong at Heartland. The ranch is quieter, the days feel heavier, and Nathan, once a steady part of the family, is suddenly pulling away. Fans can sense it. Something is building in Season 19, something big enough to change his entire path. And the moment at Find Nathan's journey at Heartland has always been more than just another storyline. From the moment he first stepped onto the ranch, he carried a sense of calm strength, someone who didn't need loud words or dramatic gestures to show who he was. He was steady, reliable, and the kind of person who did the right thing even when no one was watching. That's why over time he became a quiet part of the Heartland family. Not because he tried to fit in, but because the ranch somehow fit around him. We see him working in the barns, brushing down horses with a patience that comes from deep understanding. We see him helping whenever someone needed an extra hand lifting hay bales, fixing fences, stepping in during emergencies, without hesitation. He wasn't the center of attention, but his presence changed the tone of a scene. The ranch felt safer when he was around, like everything ran a little smoother. People at Heartland trusted him. Jack respected his work ethic. Lou appreciated how dependable he was. And Amishi saw how much heart he had, even when he tried to hide it behind that quiet, serious nature. Nathan connected with the horses in a way that said he understood struggle, loss, and healing. It made him a natural fit for the place that had healed so many others before him. But underneath that calm, something else was always there, a hint of distance, a feeling that part of him was holding back. He belonged at Heartland, but he never seemed fully rooted. Like there was a piece of him still wandering, still searching for something he hadn't found yet. The show never said it directly, but viewers caught it in small moments. The way he paused when looking out toward the horizon. The way he chose silence over sharing his deeper thoughts. Heartland has always been a story about people finding their way, and Nathan's journey fit right into that theme. Yet unlike others, his path didn't feel complete. It felt open and finished. As Season 19 begins, that unfinished part of him starts to grow louder, pushing its way into the story. And while no one sees it clearly at first, signs are already there. Fans didn't expect Nathan to become one of the emotional anchors of the ranch. But somewhere along the way, he did. And that is exactly why his coming decision hits so hard, because Heartland feels different with him in it. And it will feel even more different without him. LLY happens. No one is ready. Long before anyone realized what was happening, Nathan's struggle had already begun. It didn't come with big speeches or dramatic outbursts. It came in the quiet moments, the ones easy to miss unless you were really watching. Heartland is a place full of noise and movement. But Nathan's signals were soft, hidden inside small choices that slowly painted a bigger picture. It started with his mornings. Nathan used to be the first one in the barn, feeding the horses before dawn, humming under his breath, moving with purpose. But lately, he arrived a little later, walking slower. Pausing at the entrance as if trying to decide whether to step inside or turn back. His routine never changed completely, but it shifted, just enough for the atmosphere to feel different. Then came the moments with the horses. Nathan always had a calm bond with them, especially the troubled ones. But Season 19 shows him becoming distracted, almost distant. He finishes tasks quickly, avoiding the extra care he used to give without thinking. When a horse nudges his arm for attention, he gives a small smile, but not the warm, full one fans are used to. It's a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Around the people he cares about, the change is even more subtle. When Amy asks for his help, he agrees, but there's a hesitation, like he's holding a weight he doesn't want her to see. Jack notices Nathan drifting off during conversations, staring toward the far fields like someone listening for a voice no one else can hear. Lou asks if he's okay, and Nathan gives the same answer every time. Yeah, just tired. But it never sounds true. Even the ranch begins to feel different around him. Tools stay where he leaves them. Half-finished jobs build up. And his usual laugh, the one that came out unexpectedly when something truly amused him, disappears. In scenes where the family gathers, Nathan stands a little further back. Almost like he's already preparing for an exit he hasn't spoken aloud. Heartland has always been filled with emotional storms. But this one is quiet, almost invisible. Viewers sense something rising beneath the surface. Tension that doesn't belong to the ranch itself, but to Nathan's heart. The writers show it through glances, silence, and the way he keeps looking toward the horizon. As if something in the distance is calling his name. These small changes might seem harmless on their own, but together, they form a path leading toward one conclusion. Nathan is being pulled in a direction far from Heartland, and no one is ready for the reasons why. Every story has a turning point. One moment that quietly breaks the pattern and sets everything on a new path. For Nathan, that moment arrives in season 19 without warning. It isn't loud, and it isn't dramatic. It slips into the story like a soft breath, but the weight of it is enough to change his entire future. It begins on a calm afternoon. The ranch is peaceful, the sunlight falling over the fields in that warm, familiar way. Nathan is repairing a gate near the back pasture, doing the kind of work that usually centers him. His hands move automatically, but his mind is somewhere else. The wind picks up, carrying a sound, maybe just the rustling of leaves. Maybe something more. Nathan stops working, lifts his head, and his expression changes. Something sharp passes through him, something almost painful. He pulls a letter from his jacket pocket. We've seen him touch that pocket several times this season. But this is the first time the camera stays on it long enough for the audience to understand it matters. Nathan unfolds the paper with slow, uneasy hands. The words are never shown typical Heartland style, but the impact is written all over him. His breath tightens. His jaw sets. His eyes take on a look of decision mixed with heartbreak. That's when everything shifts. Nathan isn't alone. A horse approaches him from behind, nudging his shoulder gently. Normally he would smile and stroke its neck, grounding himself in the moment, but this time he barely moves. His thoughts are too heavy. He folds the letter again, almost carefully, as if returning it to his pocket is a way of locking away the truth for a little longer. When he walks back toward the ranch, his steps are different, slower, more final. It's the walk of someone who has just realized their life can't stay the same anymore. He passes by the barns, taking in every detail, the smell of hay, the sound of horses, the echo of voices inside. These are the places that shaped him, the places that gave him peace. But instead of looking comforted, he looks. Torn later that evening, he sits alone on the porch. The camera doesn't show his face, only the way his shoulders rise and fall with a deep, troubled breath. In the distance, the sky fades into a soft pink, and the ranch settles into night. But Nathan's stillness signals something else entirely. A storm is forming inside him, born from whatever the letter revealed, and though no one at Heartland knows it yet, this is the moment that sets everything in motion, every choice, every tear, every goodbye that will come after. Nathan has reached a crossroads, and the path he chooses will take him farther from the ranch than anyone ever expected. Once the truth settles in Nathan's heart, the pressure of it doesn't let him rest. It follows him through every corner of the ranch, pressing against him like a shadow he can't escape. Heartland is a place built on strength and healing. But even the calmest places can't quiet a decision that changes the direction of an entire life. In the days that follow the letter, Nathan becomes a man caught between two worlds. He tries to continue his usual routines, feeding the horses, fixing fences, helping with chores, but everything takes more effort than before. His hands still know the work, but his mind drifts away, pulled towards something that waits beyond Heartland. It's as if each task reminds him of what he stands to lose if he leaves, and what he might never repair if he stays. There's a moment in the barn that captures this shift perfectly. Nathan is brushing down a chestnut mare, the same horse he once connected with so deeply. She senses his tension and nudges him gently, almost asking what's wrong. Nathan pauses, his hand frozen in mid-motion. The air between them feels heavy. He leans his forehead against her mane, not for the horse's comfort, but for his own. It's the closest thing to a confession we see from him. Without words, he reveals just how torn he really is. Around him, the Heartland family begins to sense the change as well. They can't name it yet, but they feel it. Jack watches Nathan with the sharp, quiet awareness only Jack has. He notices the unfinished chores, the moments when Nathan zones out, the times he walks away before anyone can ask what's on his mind. Amy tries to check in, offering gentle questions, but Nathan dodges them with soft smiles that don't match his eyes. Even the horses act different around him, picking up the deep tension that he tries so hard to hide every night. He stands outside under the sky, staring toward the open land beyond the ranch. Heartland has always been a place of belonging, but for the first time, Nathan looks like he's searching for something outside its borders. The night breeze pulls it. The most painful part is not knowing which choice will hurt more: leaving the people and place that rebuilt him, or staying and letting a part of himself remain forever unfinished. The ranch has given him comfort, family, and purpose, but whatever news the letter delivered has cracked something inside him, pushing him toward a truth he can't outrun. This is the stage where the audience begins to understand. Nathan's decision isn't sudden. It's slow, heavy, full of love and conflict. And with every passing day, the weight on his shoulders grows, stronger, pulling him closer to the moment he finally breaks his silence. The turning point becomes a direction when one quiet truth settles inside. Nathan, the pull he feels isn't just fear or confusion, it's a calling. And that calling leads straight to Montana. It doesn't arrive as a dramatic announcement. It comes in whispers, memories, and the tug of unfinished business that refuses to fade, no matter how hard he tries to bury it. Nathan first hears Montana's name again while reading the letter. But the meaning behind it grows clearer with time. Montana is where his past began to fracture, where people he once cared about still wait in the echo of old promises. It's where a part of him was left behind, maybe a family tie that needs mending. Maybe a chance he walked away from too young. Maybe someone who still carries his absence like an unanswered question. The show never spells it out directly, but the hints are strong enough for viewers to understand. Montana isn't just a place. It's the root of something Nathan can't ignore anymore as the days pass. His connection to Heartland feels stretched, like a rope pulled too tightly between two distant posts. When he rides out into the open fields, the mountains in the far distance seem to pull his gaze more often than the familiar barns behind him. The wind in those moments feels colder, sharper, not painful, but awakening. It reminds him of the Montana air he once breathed during a part of his life he rarely talks about. The decision becomes clearer during a sunrise scene. Nathan stands at the fence line, watching the sky shift from deep blue to soft gold. Normally, this sight brings him peace. This time, it brings a realization that hits deeper than anything before. Heartland may have helped him heal, but Montana is where he must go if he wants to finish growing. The sunrise reflects in his eyes, not as comfort, but as a message. A new beginning is waiting, but it lies beyond the borders of the ranch later. When Jack casually mentions needing extra help for the next few weeks, Nathan freezes. It's not the request that shakes him, it's the sudden understanding that he won't be here for those weeks. That moment marks the first time he admits the truth to himself. Not out loud, but in the stillness of his breath. The decision has already formed. He just hasn't spoken it yet. Horses sense it too. One of the younger ones refuses to settle during training. And when Nathan approaches, she calms instantly, but her eyes follow him with a restless confusion, as if she can feel he's no longer completely hers. Animals always know when a heart is halfway somewhere else. Little by little, Montana becomes not just a possibility, but an answer. The letter opened the door, but the longing, the memories, the sense of unfinished life beyond the ranch, they push him to step through it. He starts to picture the old roads he once traveled, the ranches spread across wide, wild land, the people whose stories are tangled with his own. And with each vision, the truth grows louder. Montana isn't calling him back. It's calling him forward. News doesn't always break with words. Sometimes it spreads through a feeling and invisible shift in the air that everyone senses before they understand why. That is exactly how Nathan's coming departure begins to ripple through Heartland. No one knows his decision yet, but the ranch feels it. The people feel it. Even the animals feel it. It's as if Heartland itself is preparing for a goodbye before anyone hears it spoken aloud. Amy is the first to notice the change, not through anything Nathan says, but through what he stops saying. Their conversations become shorter, quieter. She asks him a question, and he answers with half his voice like part of him is somewhere else. One afternoon, while working a horse together, Amy glances over at him, expecting the easy teamwork they always share. Instead, she sees him staring off at the hills, lost in a world she can't reach. It sends a small ache through her chest. She doesn't push him. Amy respects silence more than most. But she knows something is slipping away. Jack feels it differently. He's lived long enough to sense when a man is carrying a burden he can't put down. He watches Nathan during their chores, noticing the way he lingers after finishing tasks. Almost as if he's trying to memorize the place. Jack doesn't ask questions, he never does, until the moment is right. But his eyes hold a quiet understanding. The kind that says he's seen this before. A good man preparing to leave a life he cares about. Lou notices the practical signs. Nathan forgetting tools he never used to misplace. Pausing too long during simple decisions. Starting a sentence and then abandoning it midway. It unsettles her more than she expected. People come and go through Heartland, but Nathan was different. Steady, grounded, dependable. His fading presence leaves a strange emptiness in the daily rhythm of the ranch. Even the younger ones pick up on the shift. Katie asks why Nathan seems sad. Lindy asks if he's mad at Heartland. Amy kneels down and tells them gently that sometimes grown-ups have a lot on their minds. But the truth is, she's asking herself the same questions. And then there are the horses, the silent, intuitive witnesses to everything. Horses always sense change first. A few of them begin pacing more, reacting differently to Nathan's touch. One mare follows him along the fence line one evening, matching his steps until he disappears around the corner. It's a moment so subtle, so full of unspoken emotion, that viewers feel it like a whisper. They know he's leaving, even if he doesn't say it yet. As these reactions build, the ranch begins to feel heavier, like everyone is holding their breath at the same time. They don't know what Nathan's choice will be, but they feel the loss before it happens. Heartland is a place built on bonds, human and animal, and those bonds tighten in the shadow of an unspoken goodbye. Deep down, they sense what Nathan can no longer hide. The man they've come to rely on is preparing to walk a road he cannot follow. Goodbyes at Heartland rarely happen in a single moment. They build slowly, layer by layer, until the truth becomes too heavy to stay unspoken. When Nathan finally decides to reveal his choice, the ranch seems to hold its breath, waiting for the words that will shift the entire rhythm of season 19. He chooses a quiet evening, no big crowd. No dramatic timing. The sun is sinking behind the hills, brushing the sky with soft orange light. Nathan stands near the paddock, hands resting on the fence, as if he needs the feel of Heartland beneath his palms one last time before everything changes. Amy approaches him first. She doesn't force the conversation, but the look in her eyes says she already knows something is coming. She's been waiting for it. Even dreading it, Nathan speaks in a low, steady voice. Kind people use when they've rehearsed something 100 times, but still fear saying it out loud. He tells her about Montana, about the letter, about the call he tried to ignore but can't anymore. Amy listens, quiet and still, her heart breaking in the softest, most human ways, a friend losing someone who shaped a part of her journey. Jack joins them next. His reaction isn't Showkit's acceptance. He offers Nathan a slow nod, the kind that carries respect, sadness, and understanding all at once. A man's gotta go where his heart tells him, Jack says in his gentle, gravelly tone. And Nathan's expression changes, revealing how much Jack's approval means to him. Lou struggles more. She isn't angry, but she's worried about the hole his absence will leave behind. Worried about the timing, worried about how much Heartland depends on him. But even she knows that holding Nathan back would only hurt him. So she steps toward him, places a hand on his arm, says something simple and honest. Just don't forget you have a home here. The rest of the ranch reacts in their own small ways. A horse whinnies softly as Nathan walks by. Lindy hands him a small drawing she made of him, and a horse something to remember them by, she says with a shy smile. And Nathan kneels, accepting it, like it's the most important gift he's ever been given. When the moment finally comes, Nathan walks to his truck. He pauses before getting in, turning to look at the ranch one more time. The barns, the fields, the house glowing with warm light. Every memory he's made here sits in that last glance. And even without seeing his face, viewers feel the weight of what he's leaving behind and the hope he carries into the unknown. As he drives away, the dust rises behind him, catching the last rays of daylight. Heartland fades into the distance, but there is no bitterness in the goodbye. Only a promise. His story isn't over. It's just moving to a new chapter, and somewhere beyond those mountains, Montana waits ready to reveal the next part of Nathan's journey. Season 19 closes this arc, not with an ending, but with an open door, leaving fans wondering when they'll see him again, and who he will become once he steps into the life that's been calling him all along.